Homemade corn dogs, frying temps and tips. You probably did it. You made it by way of January with all of its food restrictive, calorie-conscious targets and guidelines. Time to loosen up and watch somewhat little bit of a sure soccer sport and eat some fried meats. Sure, rooster wings are at all times welcome at a game-watching get-together, however wings like carbs. If solely there have been a meaty, sausagey meals that was wrapped in some type of cake and then deep-fried. Hail the corn canine. Sure, the mainstay of the county truthful, the fantastic snack of youth, and the oft mistreated and maligned staple of comfort retailer hot rollers, the corn canine is an American delight that represents a lot about our culinary heritage, sausages introduced right here and modified by German immigrants, which were coated in a cornbread batter, corn being the nice American crop, after which fired and placed on a stick for handy carrying, a nod to the Henry Ford-like effectivity of our industrial years. If there's extra American meals, please remark under to say what it may presumably be. Actually, the corn canine is so American, that in Japan, they're referred to as American canine. Corn canine fundamentals. The right corn canine is at all times going to have a couple of key options. 1. There must be a stick. 2. It must be tasty. 3. There must be an excellent ratio of sausage to cake coating. 4. The coating must be properly cooked, properly browned, and crispy on the surface. A part of the enjoyment of the corn canine is that you could decide it up together with your palms, eat it, and never get tremendous messy. The stick heightens the attraction of the corn dog by making it transportable. Plus you need to use it to level on the TV display or your pals in the course of the sport, which is enjoyable. A superb corn canine stick should assist the load of the hot dog, and subsequently can't be too skinny. It must be lengthy sufficient to go 1/3 to half of the best way into the hot dog and nonetheless depart sufficient stick outdoors to carry on to. A typical alternative for the stick is a popsicle stick, and when you've got entry to popsicle sticks in bulk from a craft retailer or one thing, they work nice. An alternative choice, one which we went with, is to make use of disposable bamboo chopsticks. You could have to chop them down a bit to get them to the best size, however they're sturdy sufficient to deal with the duty properly, and so they're very low cost if you'll find them at an area Asian market. To ensure your sticks are the best size, place one subsequent to a hot dog in order that about 3 inches stands proud past the hot dog. With a chef's knife, or a pair of robust kitchen shears, minimize the top of the stick in order that solely sufficient stays to go midway into the hot dog. Use this stick as a template for all the opposite sticks and minimize all of them to size earlier than you begin spiking the sausages for frying. Guaranteeing tastiness, the hot dog issues. Getting the tastiest corn canine begins with good components, i.e. an excellent sizzling canine. Comply with your personal tastes, right here, however in the event you purchase an excellent high-quality canine, you're already beginning out yards forward of the frozen canine you get on the retailer or the fuel station. All beef canine style higher and there's often somewhat extra care that goes into their making. You possibly can additional customize your corn canine by shopping for jumbo canine for the next meat to crust ratio, or common thinner canine for a lighter taste. Once you make them yourself, you get to decide on. A corn canine batter ought to be thick sufficient to stick to the meat without dripping off, but not so thick that you need to seek for the hot dog inside all that bread. One recipe creator makes use of the time period mud to explain the thickness that we're in search of, and it's not far off. After all, the basic corn canine is made with, properly, corn. Cornmeal is used within the batter, in essence making a cornbread coating for the hot dog. We'll go over one model of that under. However you possibly can actually let your creativeness wander relating to corn canine batters. So long as you find yourself with the best thickness of batter, there's actually no restrict to how one can determine to taste it. Add seasonings in the event you like, chili powder or perhaps your favorite barbecue rub. Possibly add a couple of dashes of sizzling sauce to pep issues up a bit, or some good honey to make them sweeter. You possibly can dip the corn canine within the batter mixing bowl or, to ease the dipping and reduce the quantity of batter wanted, you possibly can pour your batter right into a tall, slender cup, like a huge gulp soda cup, that may accommodate the total size of the hot dog. Dipping the canine within the batter then turns into tremendous straightforward. We tried each strategies and each labored properly. Frying corn canine. As with all battered fire dishes, we're in search of a steadiness of doneness and velocity. We need to prepare dinner corn canine quick, sufficient that they don't turn into soggy and oil-logged, however not so quick that the surface is cooked earlier than the entire thing can warmth by way of. And, in fact, the important thing to frying issues appropriately is at all times temperature management. As we do for all deep frying, we'll be setting out alarms to call a variety of temperatures. We're taking pictures for a frying temp at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 177 degrees Celsius, so we'll set an excessive alarm at 360 degrees Fahrenheit, 182 degrees Celsius, and a low alarm for 335 degrees Fahrenheit, 168 degrees Celsius. The temperature goes to drop once we add the corn dogs, however we don't need it to drop too far. By setting a low alarm like that, we all know to extend the need much more to counter the cooling results of the frying. Use a pot clip together with your included high temp penetration probe to watch the temperature of your oil as you prepare dinner the corn dogs, adjusting the warmth to keep up a gradual temperature. As you put together for the huge sport, and even in the event you're simply in search of an enjoyable dinner that your children gain at complain about consuming, contemplate attempting these scrumptious corn canine out.